This is going to be an interesting one. I genuinely don't know what to expect here. I feel like if Joe is able to go ahead and break this down into a series of neutral interactions, he may very well end up on top. But SLASHY just has that X factor, man. Like, he just does it sometimes. Joe, the low percentage B and Bs, tried and true. Yeah, it feels like these air-to-airs are just not working already. SLASHY kind of getting cut up, and we are less than a minute into the game. Yeah, Joe just not going to give it up. Like, SLASHY really has to go ahead and earn these neutral interactions. Does land the command grab into the dash attack right there. Joe, the reflect, very nearly getting grabbed right there by SLASHY, but a little bit too slow. Joe claimed the first stock of the back here, but I do want to point out that after that awful start, SLASHY definitely settled right back down. He got a couple of his strings. He did not immediately see his stock fall away. Lingering dash attack again into the back air that time. So good connection from SLASHY. And then Joe recovered at an awkward angle. So really the trick to those projectiles is not holding in. Like, I feel like what you're basically doing if you're SLASHY, you toss out the first one to force out the air dodge, and then you back up, toss out the second one, matching their aerial drift to put it where they're going to be at the end of the air dodge. And when you have a teleport recovery that doesn't have a hitbox can flank with that shot put, the only thing that you can do is mess up your drift. Seagull Joe working to establish the short hop aerial game right here with the back airs and forward airs, and then immediately goes in for that grab once SLASHY is afraid enough to just stick in shield. Dash attack right there, another invulnerable option. It just feels as though whenever this breaks into neutral, Joe has the upper hand because of those two invulnerable options. Like, SLASHY just doesn't really have anything broken that he can just toss out that Joe can't really react to or can't really beat. It's going to be on SLASHY to go ahead and use some trickiness. Good to open Joe up, but it feels like whenever he gets an advantage, it is brutal for SLASHY's Brawler. Landing up air, and the uppy will actually do it right there. So Joe unable to go ahead and make it out of that combo. SLASHY able to claim that stock at a relatively healthy percent. I feel like Brawler is one of those characters where you have distinct percentage windows, and if the opponent falls out of those windows, it becomes so much more of a struggle to kill. His whatchamacallit, his options that he can just toss out in neutral aren't particularly disjointed nor quick enough to just do. So when it comes to the straight hit game, Joe definitely has the advantage thanks to that invul on the dash attack. And the back here, of course. Great spot dodge right there from SLASHY. He's starting to pick up on Joe's habits for when he likes to go ahead and get those empty tomahawks. Double shot put, not quite going to do it. And at this point, this is looking really risky, and Joe finally falls into that barrage of back airs from SLASHY. And again, it feels as though Joe he had a grip of that match until all of a sudden he didn't. SLASHY's momentum, it feels like the second that this man gets up ahead of steam, there is just no stopping him. So I wouldn't be surprised if we are returning to the gentle confines here of PS2 or small battlefield. Yep, that is, I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see too many counter picks here in this game. It just feels like both characters perform pretty well on this stage. Town and City could be a pick if Seagull Joe goes down 0-2, but yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if SLASHY bans that one. At this point here, we're basically back on to just like this solid game plan of trying to go ahead and open up your opponent through safe hitboxes. Both of them on a similar fashion right here, but I haven't really seen too much of a variation in Joe's fastballs. It feels like he's always going ahead and falling at the same exact spot, and SLASHY feels like it's started to adapt to that. Like, there's been 1 or 2 opportunities where SLASHY's had to punish out of shield with an aerial. And part of it is just recognizing that Joe's kind of falling into the same pattern with his aerials. Like, yeah, they're good. Yeah, they're really close to being unpunishable, but if you can recognize patterns, you can get the punish. Now, we see SLASHY getting his first lead of the set, really. He felt like he was playing off the back foot for much of that last game. So let's see what he can do for the full stock lead. Yeah, look at this, just because SLASHY's completely just not falling for Joe's B&Bs anymore. It's like, yeah, you want to toss out the back air, you want to toss out the forward air, I get it. But I've seen this stuff before. You need to go ahead and mix me up in some way, shape, or form. And whenever Joe becomes the one to start like tossing out these Hail Mary options with things like that dash grab, it is just, it's so easy for SLASHY to get the punish. That was a preemptive up B if I've ever seen one. I feel like, I don't know if SLASHY was just betting that Joe was going to go ahead and hit him with the immediate double jump, or if it was a misinput and he was trying for another shot play. That platform tech, it just feels like Joe with a down air. That's been a new wrinkle in his game plan that we haven't seen too much of as before the past couple weeks. And it just feels as though he's got the timing down on that in this matchup. These teleports back to center stage. SLASHY's really been committing to covering things like standard getup. And because of that, Joe just shown that he's able to just teleport back to center stage. And SLASHY lacks the ground mobility to grab him. Finally gets the throw there, but at 175, kind of shows the weakness of Brawler here, where if he doesn't get one of his kill confirms, yeah, the straight hits aren't just there. But look at the neutral though. Like he really was up 100 full % right there. Has to air dodge through, and I don't believe that he gets that side B back until he hits or down B back until he hits the ground too. Similar to Zero Suit Samus's from kick in that respect. Dash attack forcing Joe again to the edge. We'll have to see if SLASHY can get the up till he does. Unable to land that second up air though. That, I believe, would have been death if he ended up grabbing that, but instead, Joe able to clean up the stock and at a relatively healthy % right here. This is Joe's time to shine right here. Just a little bit of rage, which means that the combos are still going to start working out for him. As the percentages start to rack up, Palu's long strings are going to be a little bit more susceptible to SLASHY falling out of him. Does get the parry, but nothing out of it. That feels like that was an opportune moment to Joe to claw his way back in on this one, but instead, we're just back to fair and back here the character here. Man grab right there from SLASHY, solid damage, but unable to land the dash grab. Joe bails out, now SLASHY's in the corner. How does he get back? Just expending the double jump, and Joe not quite going to punish with an up air or anything like that. Gets the back air on the greedy shot put, though. And SLASHY slips for just a split second. And that's all Joe needs. So stage picks for Brawler, I genuinely don't know in this matchup. I don't think we'll want to go somewhere like Town and City. Perhaps Smashville, but that'll likely be banned. If that's not, maybe Unova or Final D. I know that Final D is like a SLASHY special. Kalos is the counter pick instead.
Start the battle.
All right, so Kalos is staged with the bigger blast zones. I've seen SLASHY get some kill confirms off these platforms, but not a ton. This basically does mean that Palu, a character that kills off stray hits, needs to hit stray hits at later and later and later percentages. So we're not going to probably see something like a back throw kill relatively early here. As the neutral gameplay starts, that is one thing that we just saw at a SLASHY, the falling neutral air. I've almost seen that move completely eliminated from his game plan here. It feels as though that Palu, just with her up airs, you never want to be landing on her, but good God, that shot put from the depths, Joe had no response to it. Again, it feels like whenever he expends his air dodge to get around one, SLASHY has the second one perfectly placed to get that stop. Was that an empty footstool onto the platform? If so, that is a really sick option for SLASHY. Explosive Flame being one of those tools where you're basically preventing a low or high recovery. Joe, though, already seeing the counter pick coming into play here, as that back air would certainly have killed on other stages. Even from like the 3/4 of the stage, that one will certainly do it. Air trains are coming, solid damage here for Joe, and then actually getting the immediate tech and then the get up in place for SLASHY, so I'm not going to deal with the extension right there with the up air. I am stunned that hit. That was the last hitbox of Explosive Flame. I swear it expands a little bit bigger, just to go ahead and frustrate people who think they've spaced around it properly. Down throw into the platform tech chase, and yeah, that is a devastating spot to find yourself in. It's just, Joe can cover it with neutral air, he can cover it with down air, or if he tries to go ahead and get the call out, he can get it with the back air, though back air isn't as consistent. Solid damage right here from Joe again, but it feels like SLASHY has had not too many opportunities to answer back. When he does, this is the big thing. What can he make out of the ledge traps? And again, nothing at all. Joe just keeps catching him, committing to these standard get-ups. And whenever you do that, like the teleport up B from Palu seems to easily be able to go ahead and claim center stage. Great parry right there from SLASHY, but yeah, you got to go ahead and immediately reset your shield that so you can get another parry off of the other hit of that nair. Instead, got clipped, but absolutely not coming back to bite him. He just fires off that up B out of shield. Definitely going to be a stalwart option in this matchup since Palu's tools they're usually pretty safe, but yeah, if she tosses out a grounded option, then let her rip. Both players here just tossing out safe hitboxes. It really feels like this is an opportunity for SLASHY to claw his way back into it. And every time he has this rage, I have to hold my breath during every interaction because this man just has kind of an X factor. It feels like he always has some kind of a crazy option to bring it back. Joe has to play perfectly here. Flip kick is already out, using that double jump to get around the explosive plane. The dash attack not doing it quite yet. This counter pick paying dividends for SLASHY, giving him another lease on life, and the command grab eating up that fair from Seagull. SLASHY just needs one hit, but no, that dash attack a little bit too errant. It certainly felt like Joe was respecting the heck out of all of SLASHY's options, and he was not willing to commit to a single damn thing in that spot. Both of them just backing off, tossing out safe moves, SLASHY dashing back and forth, praying that Seagull Joe just makes any kind of a move to go forward, and Joe didn't give him a dang thing.
3, 2, 1, go!
So back into the comfy confines of PS2 right here for potentially SLASHY's final game. Definitely needs to go ahead and find an answer to those high pressure situations. Maybe he wants to go ahead and clutch this one out. Good grab right there. Immediately snuffing out that diet flip kick. That's one of the weaknesses of it, is it does have quite a bit of lag at the end of it. So if you ever find yourself in a spot where you can like catch the landing, you can usually just run up to the character and just stand and grab it. It's one of those few moves that like dash grabs or even standing grabs can punish. But that was a heck of an early kill, and this is a big lead for Joe, given the way that these games have been going. You're going to need to see something special from SLASHY, and he's already getting started here. Good grab right there, catching Seagull Joe trying to roll away. But Joe with the aggressive teleport does get him back to stage and get him a solid string at the end of it. The back hit of the up smash? SLASHY shouldn't have gotten away with that one. I didn't know that hitbox's sweet spot was that big. That's insane. SLASHY got the double parry, but didn't have the triple, so he still took a little bit of damage from that auto reticle. Definitely wins an award for most annoying projectile in the game in my mind. It's right up there with Mega Man's Lemons for a move that's like the most tilting. That is a suicide. Oh no, not like this, SLASHY. Stuck in the flip kick animation in the worst possible spot. Gets the parry that time into the rapid jab, so solid damage off of that, but nothing more. No tech chase or anything like that at this percent. And it keeps feeling like you start seeing SLASHY start to press here. Like 2 times in a row, he's gone for an extension to a string that was not true. And both times, Seagull Joe's swinging out of disadvantage, immediately trying to toss out a hitbox because he knows SLASHY has to go ahead and make something happen in this spot. He can't just play neutral. It's going to be death by 1,000 cuts if he does. Does SLASHY get back right here? Just the immediate stand up right there, and Joe not trying to go ahead and toss out anything committal. He wants to use up every inch of this space here. Explosive flame, is that going to do it? High, it will. Seagull Joe benefiting off of a suicide from SLASHY to claim that one 3-1. Heck of a close set, though. That was one of those where a lot of these games were decided by a coin flip, and unfortunately came up tails for SLASHY one too many times. So, y'all, unfortunately, I do need to step away for a split second because, good God, I need a drink right here. I've been doing a solo commentary for a little bit. I'm going to go grab a bottle of water while 2 folks step up here for Losers Finals. We will be right back.